All right. Good evening, guys. It is 6:50 p.m. New York time, Tuesday, January 24th, 2017, and just want to go over a couple of quick things here. First is a quick look at some of the Aussie pairs. We do have coming out in about 40 minutes here Aussie CPI, which usually is a pretty big deal for the Australian economy. Sometimes it disappoints, but we'll see. Now they are expecting a flat reading, so if this comes in as expected, it probably will be a disappointment. But if this comes in differently, then we certainly could see a nice move in the Aussie. And trim CPI is the basically the core CPI. They're expecting a slight improvement in that. So we'll see how these come in. We'll take a quick look at a couple of the charts here. So look at the Aussie Swiss. Now I like a lot of the Swiss crosses. This particular pair doesn't produce a lot of pips, but I like the Swiss crosses because the Swiss, much like the country of Switzerland, is kind of a neutral currency most of the time, and so it forms nice patterns on a lot of the crosses. So although I certainly will trade this pair, but it doesn't produce the type of pips that some of the other Aussie pairs will. But this is the 8-hour chart, and you can see this trend that I already had on here drawn out, and which I did trade this while it was underway. It's over now. This was the wave. You can see this is really a textbook trend here. 1 2 3 triangle 4 up for 5. This wave 5 was about the length of this triangle, which is pretty classic, and now we're in this corrective move. And so I'm thinking, as far as the Aussie goes, if this news comes out negative, that we will see this move down. I'm not sure what this arrow is here. I think that was from when I was in it before. So I'm thinking that this might be an ABC going on here, and that we'll see some kind of move down. The Fibonacci on this is around the 61.8. So a negative print on the Aussie news will send this down. So that's a possibility. It'd be going up. So here's the Euro Aussie now. You can see a little bit of a conflict here because now I had these labels on here from probably last week, I'm not sure, but I have this labeled as a 1 2 3 4, and if this really is a 5, then this is going to go down, and so you can't have this pair going down and have the other Aussie pairs also go down. So that's a conflict. So it's something you have to look at. Now it's very possible that this actually ended the trend right here. Perhaps this was a 1 2 3 4, and then we had a long wave 5, and now this is an ABC going up. But this, you can see the fact that it's going down right now as before the news comes out, is either an early reaction or this is just a corrective move to this uptrend. So I'll be a little cautious with this, but because again the larger trend here certainly is down, but given the fact that the main Aussie pairs look to be ready to go down, that this potentially could be just a correction. This is an uptrend, and then we're going to go up here. So we'll keep an eye on this. I may try to take a couple small position trades on these pairs soon here, but we'll see how that goes. I'll have to look at it a little bit more. The last thing I wanted to cover is we're talking about this over the last couple of days, and so this is the pound pairs, and again we had that news come out on the EU Supreme Court decision yesterday on actually this morning on Brexit, and because the decision came out as expected, there really was very little volatility in this pair. We had a couple of indecision candles right here, and then that was pretty much it. and the market went down a little bit, and now it's recovered back up. So the fact that we are now above this trend line here may begin to negate this ending diagonal. So we were looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this uptrend as what we call an ending diagonal, an Elliott wave. Basically a rising wedge formation. So if this was the wave 4, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is not unusual for the wave 5 of an ending diagonal to go above the upper trend line, in this case of an uptrend. This is called a throw over, and it's not unusual for this to break through. It's kind of like a last push of the market before it reverses. So I'm not saying this has negated it, but I would be a little cautious going short because this is still going up, but this could be the last push up. So if this is an ending diagonal, this is a very powerful wave pattern, because it suggests when it ends that the market usually moves at least back to the beginning of the pattern, which would be around here, okay, around the 122.94 area, and quite possibly further. So even if it goes, let's say it doesn't go much higher than this and it comes back down to here, that's 250 pips, and it certainly could go more. So the other Aussie pairs are looking pretty similar. Now we got this Aussie news coming out. Here's the pound Aussie. It's a little more distorted. That the waves within this ending diagonal are not really as clear as they are on the pound Swiss. Again, that's why I like the Swiss crosses, because it definitely shows you a little bit more without having the influence of the other currency so much. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potentially an ending diagonal. But again, the ending diagonal in this case going up suggests a down move. So I probably won't trade this in terms of the Aussie news, because I think there's too much going on with the British pound. So, and this again is a potential conflict with what we were talking about with the Aussie potentially going down. This should be going up. And so I'm just going to keep an eye on this, but I'm not going to be trading this during the Aussie news. I'm just going to be keeping an eye on these pound pairs going forward for any potential end of this trend. And if not, then that's fine too. The Aussie Kiwi actually did appear to break out. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This probably was the wave 5, but ended a little soon. And we did actually break through this trend line. So the Aussie Kiwi actually already looks like it's broken down and is going to go down. And so, I might be looking to short this thing. And you can see even, it's retraced a bit, but these are very small candles and look like they're running out of steam. There is Kiwi news tomorrow night, around 4:45 New York time, so that could affect this. But this is another sign that maybe these pound pairs, although the timing might be off on each one of them, may be heading down. So because again, on the Aussie Kiwi, this breakthrough might be the completion of the ending diagonal here, and then we will continue down. So I would keep an eye on this for a potential short setup. We've retraced. We're up around between the 61 and the 78.6 Fibonacci. So you can't put an exact number on that, but that's what I'd be looking for on the Aussie Kiwi. The pound Kiwi. All right, so it's kind of two different things. Aussie news coming up, and then these pound pairs in these ending diagonals. The pound Canadian looks completely different. This one looks very bullish. We don't have that kind of sideways ending diagonal. We're pretty much straight up here, and this may actually go up again. So the pound Canadian is not really a good one. The pound dollar is also showing more straight up. I really don't trade the pound US dollar very much, so I'm really focused on the pound Kiwi, pound Aussie, pound Swiss. Even the pound yen I don't really trade unless there's pound news. Yen news. This one looks a little bit kind of halfway between the pound dollar and the pound Swiss. But these are the three right here that I'm kind of looking at a little bit. Pound Aussie, pound Swiss, and pound Kiwi. for potential down moves. So, but again, as far as the Aussie goes, you know, right now it is moving up. So we'll have to see if this is an early reaction. We're going to keep going up. We're going to resume the uptrend here, which is possible. We did come back down to the end of wave 4, so this could just keep going up, or we could just be this could just be a wave B of this ABC down, which is how I have it labeled at the moment. So we'll make another video after the news comes out. But I hope, although you know it's not, I didn't really give maybe anything too clear here. I mean, I don't put trading advice on here. This is just my analysis. I certainly, as I always tell people, don't take anything I say as trading advice. Make your own decisions with your own system and your own, you know, your own methods. I'm just looking at it from Elliott Wade's standpoint and just kind of seeing what the market's doing and just trying to read patterns. So anyway, so that's it, guys. Hope you have a good night. Any questions, let me know. And like I said, maybe I'll try to make another video later on once this news comes out. All right, have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you soon.